Welcome to it, sports fans. A different ball game. It's me again. It's the same guy as yesterday. I haven't changed. Try and stay the same. Try and stay consistent. That's what they say. Everybody keeps saying, hey, if you want to be liked, be consistent. So I try and be the same person every single day, which is a terrible thing for some people. But I like it, and I'm going to stick to it. It's worked for 34 years. I'm going to stick to it now. Ladies and gentlemen, a different ball game. It has been awesome so far. 3 shows in. Can't believe it's our 3rd show. We had Dalton, we had Dobson on last night. Great job that he's doing at the Stormers. Awesome interview last night. Today we are back. Football today. The Premier League is back. Aston Villa, Sheffield United, the Blades are on their way. They're in the hunt, of course, for their top 4. So they'll try and do the right thing this evening. That game has begun. But for now, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm not alone. I say us, not because I am the royal we, but because I'm joined by the lovely Woude Muller. Woude, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. I can't believe it is 3rd show. And I'm definitely not happy about seeing you every night.
Not?
No. Your consistency does
listen.
nothing for me.
Listen, life is about compromise, hey? Little black and white, you get a yin-yang, and you move to China, teach English, maybe go on a yoga course, align those chakras, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Otherwise, Woude, what's going on in Cape Town?
Same old. Not flattening the curve. The promenade was busy yesterday. Every single person in Cape Town was on the promenade yesterday.
Unbelievable. There needs to be like a level 6 just for Cape Town. Just create a new level, leave Cape Town in that until, I don't know, like 2037. And then the rest of us can actually move on with building a continent here. Woude, great to see you. You are looking good. Did you have a good day?
I did have a very nice day. I saw some clients this morning. I had a cycle on my indoor bike. Didn't fall off. And
good.
Yeah, I had a really nice day.
A lot of people don't know yet so far. We're just getting into it. Woude is a glorified personal trainer. She goes by biokineticist, but I call them a glorified personal trainer. Woude, we don't need to hear any of it. Let's get to the show, folks. Good evening. We've got a great show today. We've got a great show, a cracker. And sport is coming back. Woo! I'm loving it. Sport is back, baby. Premier League's back. That means the real world is back. We're going to talk some Premier League today. We're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to give you the guys that I think are going to become dynasties. Then we're going to talk a little bit of rugby, of course. We've got South Africa is the greatest World Cup rugby team of all time, right? We've won 3 World Cups in the professional era. In the best era of rugby, the Springboks have won it. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about the All Blacks. We've delivered at international level more than them when it counted. Now, we're going to start featuring some players from those 3 wins, but Woude's going to tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. Remember, like, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. We are all over the place. Instagram, Twitter, and then subscribe. Hit the, I don't know where the button would it be. Would it be that way? Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Be a friend, tell a friend. We are changing the sporting landscape in South Africa and Africa at large. But let's get to it. So I'm going to start off with this. You know, everybody wants to win, right? Everybody wants to win, but nobody wants to do the hard work to win in general. Everybody wants the 6-pack, but everybody wants to buy that little vibrator machine or those patches that you stick on. Everyone wants the shortcut. It doesn't happen that way, especially if you want to build dynasties. Dynasties are not a mistake. Anybody can win a league once. Blackburn have won the league once, right? Blackburn have won the Premier League, by the way. Leicester have won the league once. So anybody can do it once. But if you want to be great, you want to go Mourinho twice in a row, right? You want to be United 3 times in a row. Those dynasties that dominate are the ones that will go down in history. So I'm going to tell you which clubs, of the big clubs, who is set up, right? Who is set up for success? Who's set up to be the next dynasty that rules English football for the next 5 years? For the next 5 years. So it's back to school time, basically, for the footballers. So I've done a report card of where I think every single team is, Dave, won't you bring up that first graphic for me? So this is what I think about the next dynasty that'll be. I'll give everybody a final mark, by the way. And I believe football's simple. You got to get the ownership right. You got to get the manager right. And then most importantly for me, right, those other two are crucial and vital. But you have to get the captain right. Because at that level, the dressing room manages itself. The dressing room manages itself. So I know there's a bit of an oxymoron. I said big clubs, and I've included Arsenal here. Because way back when, before Instagram and Twitter, they used to be a big club. So I thought, hey, let me do them a solid. But here's the problem. Their ownership and boardroom, that's an F, fail. They've been terrible. They lied to the supporters. They said, we're moving from Highbury, right, to the Emirates to compete with Bayern Munich. Those were the words. Those were Gazidis' words. Stan Kroenke hasn't put any money into the football club. It's been ridiculous. It's been a shambles. The manager, look, he seems to be all right, but he's untested. Just because you were with Pep Guardiola doesn't mean you're the real deal. Just because you sit next to Pep Guardiola and you had a pizza with him once, it doesn't make you a great manager. He's a D right now because he's not failing, but he's done nothing. He's done nothing to say he's going to pass. Arsenal have looked a little bit better, but their away record has been a shambles still. The captain, I'm afraid, look, Aubameyang, great player. When I say great, that is an overused word. He's a great player. But as a captain, he's a C. Because you think back of what the level is at Arsenal, it's Vieira, it's Henry, it's Seaman, it's Adams. Love Aubameyang, but he's not the guy I'm thinking of when I think of captain. No chance. It's a C at best, purely because he's one of the best strikers in the world. The quality of the current team, I like the youngsters. I like that Arteta's willing to play the youngsters and he's gone back to the core. So I haven't given them an E or an F because I think they're mediocre by Arsenal standards. But they've got some interesting young players, and I think this manager has managed to re-galvanize them. So I said a D+. It's not a fail. I mean, it's not a report you want to show your mom when you get home. But what you're going to do? So the Gunners, that's a courtesy call to you. Now, let's move to the clubs that are relevant and will be relevant over the next 5 years. Let's start off with the Blues at Stamford Bridge. The ownership, an A+. Deep pockets, you never hear from them. Love that. Roman Abramovich has sunk all of his money into that club. I say all, I mean most. Right? He spent over £1.1 billion. Put your money where your mouth is. You never hear from him. And then he's now got the woman who rules with an iron fist. I love Marina. She is brilliant in the transfer market. She operates. You never hear Chelsea transfer news come out. Boom, Timo Werner. Timo Werner, that came out of nowhere. That was work done by Marina. She's done sterling work. Ziyech. Everybody wanted Ziyech. Boom, Chelsea have got him. Top end, we're shopping off the top shelf again, is what Chelsea say. The boardroom ownership, fantastic. Deep pockets, you never hear from them. They're never in the limelight. Love it. Frank Lampard, I'd have to give him a B. How do I know that he's already a B? Because people will say it's his first season, just like Arteta. Listen, he had no money, and he's better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's had £300 million spent. With no money, he's still managing to be in the top 4. What he did at Derby was phenomenal, but what he's done here is something else. I won't give him an A because that's not realistic. But to do what Lampard's done and still have Jorginho in the team, who's a handbrake, has been unbelievable. The captain, he's one of the most legendary right backs in league history. He won't get that credit, but Josepa Azpilicueta is fantastic. High character, never gets injured. You can see he's got the club's respect. He's got everybody's respect. They're all in. He can play centre-back, he can play right back. Never whinges. Tough guy, great pace, great one-on-one defender, almost like a right-sided Ashley Cole. Tremendous, tremendous personality on that guy. He's the guy I want as my captain. The quality of the current team is young, raw, and developing. So it's not an A, it's a B. It's a B. Tremendous across the back, but young, raw, and still developing. Haven't been fit. Remember, Chelsea has not been fit all season, still managed to be in the top 4. Let's move over to Liverpool. The ownership, A+. John W. Henry and Mr. Werner, or Werner, top class. A+, deep pockets. They did it with the Boston Red Sox, right? Deep pockets, you invest, you hand it over to the manager, and you let him run it. You never hear from them. Tremendous from the American owners. The manager, I've said B+. I know Liverpool are going to win the league this season, but if there's one criticism of Jurgen Klopp, is he's been the nearly there man too many times for me to call him an A. He lost a Champions League final. He's lost so many finals to Munich. I think he lost 2 Champions League finals. I stand to be corrected. Yes, he did win it with Liverpool, but he didn't win the league again last season. This is going to be his first league title. He just doesn't win enough league titles for my liking. And the other thing is, I don't know how long his style lasts. For all of his success at Borussia Dortmund, that was only 2 titles. People act like he won 10 titles. So I call him a B+ because I think he's high octane, he's fun, but it's short term. Nothing that hectic. He's a hectic guy. I don't know if he can build a dynasty that'll dominate for 5-6 years. So B+ for me, Jurgen Klopp hasn't won enough big titles. He's won 1 Champions League and 2 Bundesliga. Not quite the guy. The captain, I think Virgil van Dijk this will be the time to see, because now he's the guy, right? It's very, very easy when you're chasing the guy. Now he's the guy. Let's see what Virgil's like next season, because now the pressure's really on, right? Because Sergio Ramos has done it for 15 years. I've seen what greatness looks like. I'm not just going to hand out A's for anybody. B+, Virgil van Dijk's been probably the best defender in the Premier League for the last 12 months. So good for him. I think we'll see his personality come through. Now they've gone from the hunters to the hunted. You need the captain to stand up. Can they win 2 titles in a row? That's huge. Roy Keane at the center of the first one. Nemanja Vidic at the center of the second one when they won a 3-peat at United. So that's what great captains do. Can't call him an A until he's led his team to the promised land again, which is defending your title. The quality of the current team, I think it's been a very poor Premier League season from everybody else. Yes, Liverpool have crushed everybody. But really, on paper, they aren't the greatest team. Gini Wijnaldum isn't making Real Madrid. Jordan Henderson barely makes Liverpool. I just don't understand it. So already in midfield, I see holes. But the team's good. They are good. They are good. They aren't an A, though, on paper. They've got a manager who has put them into overdrive. B+ team at the moment. Really important. Man City, boardroom, the best. A+, deep pockets, and never ever hear from them. The best kind of ownership. The best kind. Hey, Pep, what do you need? We'll give you 10 times that. Get the guy. Tremendous ownership, and they don't get in the way of the manager. The manager himself is Pep Guardiola, A++. We can move on. I don't need to pontificate. The captain, Fernandinho, he's at the end of his clock. It's a C, right? Because he's not really the ideal captain. And I guess the problem is you don't want to be the guy following the guy. Vincent Kompany was the guy. Tough to follow that. A C for me. Quality of the current team, aging. They've lost the best number 10 in the history of the league in David Silva. He will be gone now. Kevin De Bruyne, it's your turn. Once again, it's very easy when you get to hide behind David Silva. Let's see if De Bruyne is the guy, which is why I haven't given them an A. They're aging. They're not great at centre-back. They're not great at defensive mid. They're trying to settle a few people into there. Rodri has had his struggles. He's been inconsistent. They've been a bit of a revolving door. And the other thing, I've said it before, I hate short goalkeepers. I don't care how good your feet are. I do not like short goalkeepers, and I don't rate their keeper as much as everybody else rates him. I know he's Brazil's number 1. I don't like short keepers. Doesn't work in England. And we've seen what's happened with those long shots. He doesn't love them. I don't love City's team as much as people do. I think Pep, it'll be his last season, and they will go big. They will go huge. Lastly, the Spurs. For me, it is the best ownership and best run club maybe in world football. Daniel Levy is magnificent. He's the guy you want negotiating for you. He's the guy you'd hate to negotiate against. He's absolutely brilliant. He'll get the last cent from you. He got nearly 100 million for Gareth Bale. Enough said. A++. He's built them a new stadium in a profitable model. He's managed to keep Harry Kane. It's been an unbelievable job. They're the best run club. They've set up long-term deals with the NFL, with Hewlett-Packard. So that entire stadium will be paid off within 5 years. The business model is supreme. Daniel Levy, A++, best ownership in the league. What he does is, I'll give you the money, Mr. Manager. I'll tell you how much it is. It's not going to be the most, but you know what your expectations are. And he's very, very clear, and he stays out the way. Tremendous, tremendous over. Love Daniel Levy. Manager, C. Captain, C. Quality of team, and I think I've been kinder to C. That's it. I don't need to explain. I don't love Mourinho anymore. I think I'll tell you what Mourinho is. He's an analog manager in a digital time. He's an analog manager in a digital time. His time is over. So what does that mean for the final marks? Let's see what everybody's final marks are. Remember, this is for the next dynasty. Arsenal, forget it. E-. Terrible ownership. They've got a mediocre squad. I think the manager will be gone probably in 2 years at most. And the quality of the current team, there's too much to fix. That's going to take 5-6 seasons just to fix the squad. They're not going to be in the Champions League again. So that's another 2-3 years where you don't have that revenue. Forget them. Chelsea, B+. This is the current circumstances of the team. And remember, I'm not counting Ziyech. I'm not counting Timo Werner, who will come in now. Liverpool, an A. I mean, currently, you'd have to say. Right now, they are an A. They are flying, and this season unstoppable. Man City, an A. Because they've got it right, and they've got Pep Guardiola. They will refresh. They've got more money than God, and they will refresh. Spurs, I'd say a C+, because the ownership is strong. They'll be consistent. So who do I think will be the next dynasty? I think it's the Blues of Chelsea. I think it's the Blues of Chelsea. Because they've got the manager, and let me tell you my reasons. The squad age is unbelievable, right? It's the youngest squad of that quality in the league. And the quality is supreme. Mount, Tomori, Tammy Abraham. None of these have reached 25. None of them have reached 23. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek still needs to come back. The manager is in full control at Chelsea Football Club. He is in full control. The youngsters trust him. He's brought in Jody Morris. It's Chelsea for the fans, by the fans, and Lampard is one of the guys. That is everything at a football club. And then once again, the transfer activity. Ziyech and Werner. The two most coveted names in Europe this season will be at Stamford Bridge. Pair that with Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, a fit N'Golo Kante. You've got an unstoppable team next season. You've got an unstoppable team next season. They'll have Ben Chilwell at the left back if things go through. I think Chelsea are set to create another super team. They're the most likely. They're going to dominate for 5 years. The team is on the rise. They're already the fourth best team in the league, and it's their first season with no transfer activity. Could you imagine what Lampard's going to do with these youngsters? I would love to hear what people have got to say. Squad age, managers in control, and the transfer activity, Chelsea are back to shopping off the top shelf. Let me know what you think. The Blues are going to dominate for the next 5 years. People say I'm partisan. Listen, I won't lie to you. I'm a Chelsea fan. It has nothing to do with it. I've observed the data. This is how Fergie did it. This is how Mourinho did it the first time. Young, hungry, quality, and then you add Timo Werner and Ziyech. Would love to know what you think. So let's talk about another set of champions. The Springboks. You got to love them. You got to love World Cups. With that, I'll hand you over to Woude Muller.
Thanks, Simbolela. So for the next couple of Wednesdays, I've decided to compare the three respective players in their positions who in every team won the World Cup. So let me know what you think. Tonight we are going to start with the fullbacks, and the Springboks have had three very different fullbacks in their respective World Cup wins. In 95, you had the Rolls-Royce Andre Joubert. 2007, the very flamboyant Percy Montgomery. And in 2019, the overrated Willie Leroux. I'm going to start with Willie because honestly, I don't think we can really have this discussion while Willie Leroux is in this context. I just feel so sorry for him having to be compared to two players of that standard of Andre and Percy. It's just not fair. And let's be honest here, one of the only reasons Willie really played in the World Cup is because the Springboks didn't have enough time to prepare one of their young, up-and-coming youngsters to play. It would not have been fair to expect of Damian Willemse or Warwick Gelant to have to cope with the pressure of playing in the World Cup. When Willie started, let's say like 2012, 2013, we all kind of thought that he was going to be the next big thing. We had high expectations of him. He was dynamic. He was confident. He was dangerous on attack. He had a lot of weapons in his possession. And that's exactly the reason why Rassie picked him for the squad. But Rassie didn't get what he expected. It's like, you know those pictures that you see of when you buy a dress online, the expectation versus reality? That's kind of what Rassie got in this idea. The one thing that you expect, or two things you expect from your fullback: be good on the high ball, be good on the tactical kicking. In Japan last year, when we played against Japan in the quarterfinal, Willie did not win one aerial contest. And it's so sad to see that he hasn't learned how to manage the game at all in all these years that he has played. Like I said, he's got a lot of weapons in his possession, but don't expose all of them all the time. Just leave something for our imagination. Just let us wonder what else you have. Let us forget about the thing that you did before. Every single time he got the ball, he would goose step, he would run to the sideline, he would do this, he would do that. I mean, when he did something good, it was absolutely remarkable. But when he was bad, he was worse than bad. Yes, I'm not going to say anything more about him because I want to talk about quality right now. I put these stats up for these two players, for Andre and for Percy, not because I think it is very fair to really compare the two to each other. The one on the one hand played most of his rugby in the unprofessional era, and the one on the other hand played a lot of his rugby in the Northern Hemisphere. And back then we didn't have the rule where you can play for South Africa when you play it overseas. But it is quite interesting to see that Percy only had one World Cup win. He played in two. He would have played in three if he didn't get banned. He got banned for 2 years and he missed the 2003 World Cup because he pushed a touch judge. It's really difficult. Tongue twisters tonight. So he got banned, but he was the first player to reach 100 caps for the Springboks. His test points are the most, and he also scored the most points in a 2007 World Cup win. Starting with Andre Joubert, he was the most all-rounded fullback. He had the hallmark of everything that you would want from a fullback. In rugby purist eyes, he would be probably the best that South Africa has ever seen. He could cover the kicks. He was solid under the high ball. He was powerful on attack. He had quality positioning. His instinct and his flair is probably better than most players that we have right now. And I think the coolest thing about him is the fact that he played the last, I think, 2 matches in the 95 World Cup. He played with a broken hand. And I think that kind of says to you the type of person that we're dealing with here. The one thing for me that does count against him in this whole argument is the fact that he played in the non-professional era. He might have had a professional outlook on the game, but most of the people that he played with were not necessarily that professional. They were still pretty amateur. Percy Montgomery, on the other hand, he had 2 very different ways of playing. The younger Percy was a footballer. He tried everything. I think he was as flamboyant on the field as his hair and his clothes were off the field. And that's when he caught our eye. We all started thinking that now we have this new guy who's going to play this new kind of rugby in South Africa, and it was exciting. I don't know, you can remember those brilliant attacks, the pace, the step, those brilliant torpedo, 60, 70 meter torpedo kicks that he gave. But I think what Percy realized is that we live in South Africa, and playing innovative, good rugby is not going to get you anywhere playing in the Springbok team. So he became like a 2 or 3 trick pony, really. He started playing very simple rugby under Jake. He got basically get the high ball, find territory with your kicking, kick for the poles. So he was bland, but he gave like 90% rate on everything that he did. So my final call on who I would think the best out of these three will be, Andre Jabeur was an absolute class player, but Percy's consistency and goal kicking just puts him ahead for me in this competition. And I know I'm going to get a lot of controversy about this. Yeah.
Wow. Percy Montgomery, huh?
Yeah, look, like I said, Andre Jabeur, absolute class. There's a reason why they call him the Rolls Royce. In the professional era, though, I do think rugby has changed a lot, and the way that Percy adjusted to it and adjusted to the game plan that South Africa wanted to play and wanted him to play, I think was really good. You could always count on him to get those 4 penalties in a World Cup final, putting them under pressure, putting them over. Yeah.
Wow. So Percy Montgomery, the greatest fullback South Africa's ever had, basically, is what you're saying there.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's a hot take. that is certainly a hot
and
take.
I would love to hear what everyone else thinks. And like I said, I know that people are going to disagree with me because most people are going to say it's Andre Jabeur. But maybe if you listen to my very strong facts and reasons, I might change your mind.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you, my thing with Villy is he's actually probably a mesh between the two. Early Percy Montgomery, Villy with the flair. And the thing about Villy is this. Everything in life is about confidence. When he lost his confidence, and he lost it all. You just can't have a guy like him when he loses the confidence. But unfortunately, confidence is a part of greatness. So, interesting call.
You don't have it, you can't play.
Yeah, you'd have to pay me a lot of money. Yeah, listen, you'd have to pay me a lot of money to pick Percy Montgomery over Andre Jabeur. That's a hot take, Woude. That is a hot take. I mean, the guy's name was Rolls Royce. I just like.
But like I said, playing in the unprofessional era definitely counted against him. Maybe if he didn't and played a lot of his rugby in the professional era, would have been a different story. But back in the day, he was definitely the Rolls Royce. But I would go for Percy.
Percy Montgomery, hey, the greatest hair to ever don a Springbok jumper. Hey, listen, can't hate it. The guy took us to a World Cup in 2007, and I think his stint in Wales did him all a world of good. You know what? Percy left a boy, he came back a man. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
He definitely matured in his time in the Northern Hemisphere, and like I said, he adjusted to the way that they wanted him to play in South Africa. There was no airs and graces about him anymore. He got the high ball, he kicked it, he got his goal kicking right. What more do you want from a guy in a Springbok team who's going to take you to a World Cup win?
Tell you what, wow, that's big. But I tell you, Villy can separate himself from those two. If he wins a Lions series as the fullback, you may need to rethink that because that's going to happen. He will be the fullback. You know, coaches don't change once they've won. And they trust him. You know, I think that's what's great about Rassie is he doesn't pick the best players. He picks the right players for the system. And Villy's his guy.
Yeah, look, I don't think you really had another choice to play Villy in this because he didn't have a lot of time to develop another player in that position. But honestly, in my life, I want to find someone that believes in me the way that Rassie believes in Villy Leroux.
Oh my gosh. On that note then. That is the skip pass. That is fantastic. My gracious. Woude Muller with the skip pass. Great stuff, Woude. That is a hot take. Percy Montgomery, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Let me get my news voice on. In breaking news today, Percy Montgomery chosen over the Rolls Royce. Why do newsreaders speak like this? It's ridiculous. Percy Montgomery. Breaking news. Woude Muller. Woude, that is a hot take. Wow. The Rolls Royce. Listen, we're going to have to get him on the show. He's going to be upset. The guy's name's Rolls Royce. Incredible. All right, folks, let us know what you think. So if it's your first time joining us, it is welcome. Welcome to a different ballgame. We're trying to change the sporting landscape. Content will never be the same again. The Cliff Central revolution is on. Along with Big Shot Media, we are changing the landscape. And as you've heard, Woude Muller, thinks Percy Montgomery. Give us your take. Percy Montgomery is the greatest Springbok fly half of all time. Tell a friend. Tell a friend that Woude Muller said it. Oh my gosh. We will have some social media at the end of the show, folks. Stick around. Send your questions. So please tweet us, Cliff C Sport. Your opinion on Woude saying that Percy Montgomery is better than the Rolls Royce. Andre Joubert. If you know Andre Joubert, tell him. Tweet him. Say Woude Muller, the girl from George, who fell off a stationary bike in her own house and is a glorified personal trainer, goes by biokineticist Woude. She says Percy Montgomery's golden locks are far better than the Rolls Royce. There you have it. Cliff C Sport, tweet us. What do you think of Woude Muller's opinion on the greatest fullback to ever don the green and gold? Great stuff. The skip pass. Fantastic, Woude. Good stuff. Coming up after the break, we got one of the coolest guys, right, to play rugby. Like, this guy just seems like a guy I'd like to be mates with. It's like, oh, hey, shoot the breeze. Hey, what are you doing for brunch? Pop round. And then it's like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, no. Hey, no big deal. My best mate, Sia Kolisi. No big deal. No big deal. I head down to Newlands and I throw balls to 2, 6, or 4. No big deal. That's my living. Seems like that type of guy. You know, just a cool guy wearing jeans. I'm just wearing jeans at the shops. Really, really cool guest coming up. Cannot wait. We're going to have an electrifying chat. Ladies and gentlemen, a different ball game. We'll see you in a bit.
The Gareth Cliff Show, live weekdays 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., as well as on podcast. Gareth Cliff and his team bring you uncensored, real conversation about everything in the news, interviews, aging material, and a healthy dose of inspiration and intelligence. To get in touch, email contact@cliffcentral.com. That's contact@cliffcentral.com. The Gareth Cliff Show, without limits, we give entertainment, provocative content, and unhinged reality. The Gareth Cliff Show is available on cliffcentral.com, the Cliff Central app, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is a different ball game. I am Bulelo Tinta. I want to try and read news. I'll do the rest of the show like a newsreader. That's my big ambition. Let me tell you about the news. In the weather today, there is weather everywhere. That is the weather. That's how I do it. If I did, but I don't do that. That's why I do sport. A different ball game. Welcome back. We're going to get straight into it because I think this is going to be an awesome conversation. So I'm going to introduce our guest now. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you a man who went to school in Hillbrow. So he is tough. They call themselves St. John's Sister School, but he is a Xhosa man, so he has seen tougher. He is one of the coolest guys to be on a rugby field. Ladies and gentlemen, no big deal. My best mate, Siya Kolisi. I am the hooker for the Stormers. Ladies and gentlemen, Scarra Ntubeni.
Oh, Jambu.
Yes, Utini Tiza.
How cold Woude Muller.
Listen, I want to be very clear. There is a Xhosa bias on this show. You know, I keep telling people we've given people Nelson Mandela, we gave them Siya Kolisi, and we've given them Scarra Ntubeni. I don't know what more they want from our nation.
No,
Scarra, how are you, brother?
No. All good, and you?
Hey, man, I am good. Listen, lockdown's been tough for us. Let's get straight into it, bro. What have you been up to since your job of being like a demolition man on a rugby field? You can't do it right now. How are you staying mentally sane right now?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot. Like as the stages have gone, like the first 21 days, I was like super driven and all of that with training and all of that, and like because like in the Stormers team, I'm not like the most like driven guy or the most seriously taken guy. So I thought, no, I want to prove them wrong. And then I think after a month or a few weeks, like that died. Like I was like, no, I'm done with this. And then I got involved with the Friends charity, and then I've been doing a lot of like for a month. I was doing like a lot of charity work and stuff like that. And then I think I've just been now because I'm also like got my own business, and I've been trying to push a lot of energy into that as well. So like I think for me it's been a bit of a roller coaster, and like I think a lot of people have been house or homebound, I think, but I've been pretty busy, and I've actually given a lot of attention to things that I haven't really had time for. So I think my lockdown has been a bit interesting, but yeah, I think I'm done with it now. I think I'm back to get back on the field. Even though I did fitness this morning, and I decided now I'm actually fine in lockdown.
Talk to me a little bit about that charity work. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so there's actually two charities. There's Lungile Mshotwana Foundation, and then there's the Be the Difference Foundation. I think like more of my local stuff I've been doing has been with them. Like every day for a month, I was working with them, feeding about 400 to 500 people a day, which is quite tough, you know, like because like there was like no off days, and you had to pitch to feed the people. And then I hurt my ankle running, and then I took a bit of a step back, and then I was doing a bit of traveling with a friend with the Woude Muller Foundation, just like more of the like forgotten towns sort of vibe, like the Northern Capes, Beaufort West, Queenstown, and some towns in the Eastern Cape. So I was doing a bit of that. And then now I'm back home, and now, like what I said earlier, like I'm more focusing on myself a bit, and you know, trying to do things that I've never been able to do. So I think that's where I am now. But like I'm excited, or I'm keen to like do more where I can, or where I'm allowed, where I can give back.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. What you got for Scarra?
No, Bud, you look so professional with your microphone and everything, I must say.
Yeah, I look like
But
I'm gonna helicopter or something. I don't know.
I remember you injured yourself just before lockdown in one of the games. I think it was your shoulder, your pec or something. How was your rehab going? And how did you guys cope without having a physio or a bio with you in this lockdown time?
Yeah, I think for me, I didn't mind because then I didn't have to run. Like I had an excuse not to run in lockdown. So I think that was fine for me. But I think like I have a good relationship with my physios and all of that, and it was like, and I mean, I've like been with the guys with the physios for like 10 years, and so you obviously get to know and know what you need to do and all of that. So I think it was obviously tough, but like there also wasn't like we weren't chasing a date. So
Yeah.
like there wasn't a big rush for me to get back or to run and all of that. So I think that was what was different to compared to like if like we were playing the Sharks this weekend or something like
Yeah,
that. So it was tough, but I think like I spoke to you a bit as well. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, it
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, it's been a bit different. Like now, like there's no target to anything you're doing.
But you heard earlier that I fall off my stationary bike. I saw a video of you also falling, doing something. Was it off a ball? Was it off something? Didn't you
Yeah,
didn't you also have a bit of an accident?
yeah, I think I was. I was like just not fooling around, but just like trying new things. I mean, if you're home for, I mean, we're not used to being home for like long periods, and I think being home, I was just trying to create my own sort of drills and all of that, and like we were getting like sent like a lot of info and a lot of, I think, because we'd never been in this position before, and then I tried to do some, I don't know what it was, but like some skills throwing, and then yeah, I think. Because I had done Pilates or worked with a physio, TJ Malala, and we'd been standing on balls for like 20 minutes at a time. So I thought it'd be good to throw line out balls, and then yeah, it didn't end well. So, but then yeah, quite a bit of people saw that. So yeah, it was pretty funny,
Oh,
but it was pretty sore. But it was a good job, good
so
laugh.
you're the Pilates guy now.
Hey,
All
Buddha,
right.
don't
Hey.
wait.
So what?
I'm not. You putting me. It's like you putting me on the bracket of the guys who are talking for PS5. That's how it feels like.
Hey, let me tell you how it goes. Pilates, vegan, and then you move to China to teach English because you break up with a girlfriend. That's the order that it happens. Next, you're going to be telling us about chakras. You're a Pilates guy now.
No, it wasn't that. It was just I hadn't been in rugby for a while, and I was just like in a different space. I didn't play rugby for almost 2 years with my snapped Achilles,
Yeah.
so I was doing a lot for like just to get back and just like experimenting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got lots of fans. Scott, how's that injury recovery coming along? Because I think people have missed you being available on a consistent basis. You're somebody who I know that everybody in Cape Town loves you. What sort of time window are we looking to seeing the best Scarra? When can you expect to give us the best version of yourself with that Achilles? Is there a window for that?
No, I think I'm fine now. I think I've worked on myself and I've had a lot of time on myself, and I think now, I think after lockdown, I think I'm gonna give myself one more go, and see how things go. But like, I think I've reached a space where like I've had that question so many times, and I just like I want that weight off my shoulders. Like I think I'm mature enough now to like just do me, not impress, but but I think like I've reached a space where like now I really want to play rugby and I really want to enjoy myself
Hey, brother, that's
because
amazing.
yeah.
Hey, so that's one thing people don't get an eye on, right? Is everybody just sees the number 2 on your back. Nobody thinks, hey, that's a person. Everybody just thinks, hey, you got a number 2. We want to see the best of you. Nobody knows the space of being. You guys are genetic freaks. You're gladiators. talk to me about what's it like when you are an individual that's used to winning and fighting and trying to be your best every day, and now you're injured. What is that space like for a rugby player and an elite sportsman, which you are? What's it like to be in that 8-9 months on your own, doing rehab every day? Mentally, what's that like? I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in that.
Yeah, I think like what you're talking about, us being, but I just think we, like for me, when I was injured, I think the thing that I missed the most was the people more than the playing. But then there's like all the pressures that come with that, if you had been on a certain level and you've been out for so long, like getting back, I think is more a mental, like the whole journey is pretty mental in terms of like the work that you have to put in first and the dedication and all of that. But also like the pressures of like, would you be able to perform at that same level that you were on before? And I think that's like actually like the tough part. But I think, I think what's important is the people that are around you, because no matter what level you're on, I think that person is also ngumdu, like people usually look up to people, but those people are also people. So as that person now, people are different, but you end up adding more pressure than you see. That is like phela ufaka enye pressure that engafuneki. So I think that's the tough part. Like once you get to a certain space, like I think your mental aspect is so hectic. Like a lot of great people that I've spoken to in sporting, like or Jean Carles, no AB, like you like when you meet them, they're just not the same as like things that we struggle with. It's just like something that they've already like overcome, like mentally. And I think like once people get on that level, there has to be something special about them. You can't be like you're a human, but you can't be normal and still do things like those people achieve.
Yeah. Listen, I'm pulling for you, even though, hey, I'm a Lions guy, but you're one of the coolest guys ever. So I cannot wait to see the
I could feel something was weird with you. I could feel something was weird. I thought you're a good guy, but I could feel something was just missing. You're
not the first person to say that. You're not the first person to say that. Listen, Scarra, you were talking about, in Xhosa they say ungumntu ngabantu, and you spoke about in your struggles, in your tough times and the good times, you need good people around you. Hey, no big deal. One of your best mates happens to be basically the second coming of Nelson Mandela, Siya Kolisi. What's he like as a guy? Well, what's he been like for you in your best and the worst times? And how long have you known him? I guess that's the real thing. Is the first time you met him, did you know like, hey, that's the guy?
Nah, I didn't. I think I met him. I won't remember the year, but we were 12 years old. I don't know how many years ago that is. But like at that time, I think Sia was like the laziest rugby player now that I'd ever met, and he was like such a cool guy though, but like the laziest, and like his whole life was like on a different level when I met him, and like him coming from the township, and like English wasn't his vibe, so like compared to him now, who he could speak in front of 100,000 people, so like I think things that for him has changed like onto another level. So I can't remember the other part of your question.
No, just like, is he like a cool guy? What's he like to be around? I mean, he must have the whole world after him all the time. What's he like? What makes him so great?
Yeah, I think like what's nice with him is like he's pretty authentic and he's pretty cool, and like once he believes in something, like it's done. You know what I mean? Like we clash heads on a few things, but like there's some things that I can't even convince him on, and I can't even like persuade him on. I think Woude knows as well. Like there's something like if he believes in it, he's in it. And I think like for many years, like Sia has been like when you first became captain, it was a bit of a laugh for me because like Sia has always been the clown in the team and all of that. But I think just to see him grow, he's still a clown, but he's like just to see him grow and to like become like the person he is now, I think is like total opposite of like how he was, let's say 10 years ago, or not even 10 years, like a few less. Just to see that maturity and the maturity for the best, you know what I mean? Some people mature and you lose them, or some people change and you lose them. But like he's matured and it's like been for the best. So I think that's a difference, and it's been a good difference for him. And I'm so like happy like to see him like use what he has now or his platform for something good, because he's changed a lot of lives and he's changing a lot of lives. And I think that's something for him that's not fake. You know what I mean? You get it. I've like met a lot of people who do things that are fake, but I think for him it's pretty authentic, especially because of where he comes from.
Hey, I just saw you reach for a glass. What are you drinking there? I mean, these are tough times. Let's take us into it. Are you a wine connoisseur? What's your story? I mean, you're already on your way to being a vegan with the whole Pilates thing. You might as well tell us about your fine wine.
Hey, they have brunches every Sunday, don't you? I've never been invited to the brunches, but there are brunches every Sunday where there's wine involved.
Oh, no. I think that was a lockdown thing. And actually, there's a friend of mine who was commenting a few times at JP. He's my wine friend, and I think he's twisted my arm a bit. I've been a beer man all my life, but I think now I've turned a bit into a gin and wine guy. But like I haven't been drinking at all like for a while. I just opened the fridge before we went online, and I felt like I had a long day, and then
Gotta relax. A man's gotta relax. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Pilates and fine wine. That's what it is. The guy takes on now. Good to know. Hey, so listen.
Yeah. My dad wouldn't be happy now.
Are you and Sia just making TikTok videos with Rachel over there? Her Instagram game's on fire, like always setting it up. Are you guys Instagram TikToking or what's the vibe there? What do you guys get up to?
No, me and Sia. Or me and Rachel.
Yeah, just in general. Or you, Rachel, Sia, the whole family. I mean, are you in the pool? She's always putting people in the pool and the kids. What do you guys get up to Sia Kolisi? He doesn't seem human right now. He's on a different planet.
Yeah, I think he's balanced it, or he's trying to balance it like quite well with like how he's jumped. And I think like anyone, he's also like human and stuff like that. So he has his moments where he wants to just chill, and usually on a Sunday after a game, we'd go to Langa and just grab some meat after church. So I think that's like where we would like get our, or not our, like I would like get my like where we would chat and open up and stuff like that. Rach, I actually don't spend a lot of time with Rach. I only spend time with Rach usually when I'm there, like visiting. Obviously now it's changed with lockdown, like playing with the kids, or like see us getting ready and we're gonna go somewhere or something. But yeah, Rach. I mean, I've known Rach for close to 10 years now, so like I know her quite well. But like we don't spend a lot of time together. If you know what I mean.
No, cool. I'm very happy for them. Listen, I'm happy for all of you guys. Let's bring it back to the pitch a little bit, Scarra. That other guy who plays hooker for you guys, does he eat food? Like I saw that guy without a shirt on. I'm like, what is going on there? Is he human? Bongi Mbonambi must be the most ripped human being in the world. Is he just intense? Like, what is his vibe? Because I love that man, and he's just hectic.
Yeah, no, I think I've also known Bongi for a long time. When I went to Cares for 2 years, he was at St. Albans. We played against each other, and then we played together at SA Schools, and then we played against each other at the ball.
No big deal. SA Schools, just throw it out there. I'm SA School's best hook in the country. No, hey, no big
No,
deal.
no.
No big deal. Just throw it out there. Keep going, bro. Keep going. No big deal.
Woody, please help me. Please help me.
No. I think you're doing really well all by yourself. Keep
No
going.
big
Tell
deal.
us about your SA School.
No big deal.
And then like playing against each other when he was the Bulls, and then playing together here. And like I think in the beginning it was a bit weird, but I think he's a good man and he's a hard worker. And yeah, as you said, like I don't know what he eats. I've hardly seen him eat, so yeah, maybe it's a secret of his. But yeah, he's a pretty
He's
solid
something else.
bloke, and he works hard though. He works hard for what he has, and yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that you guys have two great hookers, and you and Bongi Mbonambi there. So talk to me about what is the plan for the Stormers, and what are you guys aiming for now? There's John Dobson. We had a chat to your coach last night. Is what's the outlook for the Stormers? What do you guys want to be the best in SA? What are your goals as number one? Let's start with you. Tell me your goals as an individual, and then at large, what is the goal for the Stormers over the next 2-3 years?
Yeah, so I think you as in, are you talking about me personally, or are you talking about the Stormers?
Yeah, let's start with you personally, and then you can tell me about the Stormers.
Yeah, I think for me, like lockdown, I wanted to achieve something when I come out of it, you know. And I think like this past few seasons, I just felt that I wasn't in the best shape that I wanted to be in terms of weight and in terms of like the smaller things, in terms of core and hammy and like all these other smaller things that you don't usually have too much time for. And I think I've achieved that now in lockdown, and I feel that I'm more like a full, like not package, but I feel like I can do what I want now. If I wanted to sprint, I wouldn't be worried about my hammies or my groins and all that. So that's for me personally. And I think like with the Stormers, I think we were sort of on a good wicket before our last two games, the Blues and Sharks. I think we'd really like want to. We know what we did wrong, and you know, and that's the competition. Like, there's no room for error like that. But I think like we'd really want to hit the road running again, and we'd want to be competitive in the competition, like when it resumed or if it were to resume. So I think because like one of our main objectives was, because it was of last year in Cape Town, we wanted to our campaign or our campaign for the year was to get Cape Town smiling again. So I think that's why the guys were so driven and really wanted to do well. It's a pity now with all this COVID, because Newlands has all this history, but I think that was our main objective, is just to like get Cape Town smiling again, and that's why we played with so much like passion at Newlands, and like we were so accessible to like the fans because it was their last year as well. It's not only our last year, so we tried to like be accessible, like where we could be approachable and answer questions, or they could come watch our trainings. So yeah, I think like no one expected this, especially us. Like we really wanted this to be like the finale for Newlands and all the history, 135 years. So we really wanted to end well, but yeah, I think when we come back, everyone wants to end well if we do come back. But yeah, I think that's where we were at.
All right, I like that. So like LeBron James' revenge body when you come back. Look out, Super Rugby. Boy, Ntubeni's coming with a LeBron James revenge body. I love it. Listen, talk to me about John Dobson. This was the best Stormers side in probably in a very, very long time. I don't want to slate any ex-coaches. I just want to talk about Dobson. What has he brought to you guys? Because you seem to have come out a different side this year.
Yeah, I think I also don't want to slate anyone, because I think I've enjoyed all my coaches at Stormers, with Coach Alistair, with Flecky and John also. I think I also have a long history with John, like more personal, long history. And I think John is just, he's a bit different, like he's a different human, like in terms of his player management skills, and he really cares about the players, and he's a good human as well. Like, he looked after me and Sia actually as well when we first moved to Cape Town. He helped us actually with our furniture and like getting us settled in, and I still had his choreographed couch. But like, he's really a good person, and he's a really good human. And I don't know if I can tell you how I got the couch, but I think Candice.
Of course we can.
Yeah, please do tell us that. Yeah, no, you can't drop it like that. And listen, now we know the guy's a vegan. He's got a revenge body coming out, and now he's going to tell us a couch story.
A vegan. A vegan.
This is basically, you said Pilates. I've kind of extrapolated how it's going to go. And then you were also into fine wine. Tell us about choreographed. Humble brag there. Tell us about the choreographed couch. You have to tell us about that.
No, I don't have it anymore, but like, John, obviously, there was a long story, but John ended up in where me and Sia stayed, and then he saw the state of where we were staying. So he said, no, next week he's gonna help us with our furniture. So I don't know if he staged a break-in or he like faked, but he said, just take whatever you want. I'm gonna tell my wife someone broke in, and like we took like furniture and curtains and all of that. And, I hope we didn't claim from insurance, but
Wow, breaking news. Hey, this is a big-time sports show, right? We're investigative journalism mixed with sport. There's no other show like it. Oh, that is unbelievable. Listen.
So he's like, it's a long story.
He's a special guy.
He's a special human,
Listen, before I let you go, this has been a great chat, bro. Is that a wig? Because that hair is awesome. Is it a wig, or is that your real hair? Because that hair is awesome, bro. That is such cool hair. Dude, you are one of the coolest guys to be a professional sportsman, by the way. Like, you just look like a guy I'd want to hang out with. I mean, obviously, you'd never hang out with a loser like me, but I'm just saying, like, if I was cool, you'd be the guy I'd want to hang out with. Let's talk about the hair. And then, Woude, I'll let you in.
No, there's no big story behind it. I think it's just, it's just me. I think it's just become me. And there's no like real big story. There was a little story, but I don't think it's affected like why I've grown my hair. But I think I enjoy it. And sometimes I doubt myself, like when I wake up, when you wake up after a big night and you have that loser complexion, and then you look at yourself in the mirror, and then you say, like, what am I doing?
Keep it. It's electrifying. Hey, you're playing for the Stormers. Anyone judging you, probably like, hating their marketing job. You're an international sportsman. Hey, you heard of him? Hey, guys, let me tell you who I know. Scarra Ntubeni. Hey, no big deal. I was the SA Schools hooker. I'll throw that in there. Hey, no big deal. My best mate, Sia Kolisi, and look at my hair, not a wig. Love it, bro. I love it. I love it. Scarra, you're the best. Woude, what you got?
No. I was just saying that I'm actually mates with him. So imagine how cool I am that he chose to be a friend of mine. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
Hey. Listen, no big deal. Scarra, if you can just organize for me, tell Rachel I want to be on her TikTok videos. I've seen the TikTok videos. These are my TikTok moves. I want to be on there. Yeah, I want to have what you call a get. Listen, now that Sia Kolisi, by the way, is with Def Jam, right? Or not Def Jam, Rock Nation Sports, right? Tell him I'll come. I'll carry his bags. We can hang out with Jay-Z. I'll make some TikTok videos in the back. I'll be the guy. Tell him if he needs somebody. Me, Sia Kolisi, we'll go hang out in New York for a bit. Hang out, maybe with Beyonce. We'll have some vegan food with you. We'll go do some Pilates, get our chakras aligned. It'll be great. I'm just saying. You don't have to answer now. It's a public platform. Scarra, before I let you go, we got some questions for you from subscribers. What we got for me, Dave?
Okay.
Coming up now, Sediment TV says, Scarra, what is your proudest moment in rugby, then in life? So that's two. Proudest moments in rugby and proudest moments in life.
Also, I think is that JP.
Yeah.
I think proudest moment in rugby, I think obviously was to play for the Springboks. I think like with the whole history of like eventually playing for the Springboks, being involved for like a while. I think that was a big weight off my shoulders and like a dream come true. And then in life, I think like having like a nephew, you know, like I think just to, I don't have any kids, so like just to have someone that I know is like my blood and just to like the bond that we have, you know, is like proper next level. And I know this guy who asked the question is probably gonna say that, and having JP as a friend obviously is one of the highlights. So I'll add him in there as well.
That's good. That's why you're a pro sportsman. You got to cover all your bases. That's great what you've done there. Great answer, Scarra Ntubeni. Mark Leroux says, Scarra, how difficult is it to crack opponents' line-out codes? Great question.
Yeah, I don't think we crack like the line-out codes because you're never sure. Like you can do your analysis and you can see certain like rhythms or often things that happen quite often. But I think like you sort of sometimes see like their thinking process and you try and sometimes it does become a guessing process. But like also I think depends on like who is in charge of your lineouts and your contesting and like your mindset. It's quite a complex thing, like lineouts and contesting. So yeah, it's not an easy thing to try and crack. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people get it right. A lot of it is guessing, and a lot of it is structures within your contesting.
All right, there you have it. Jacques Joubert says, Scarra, do you agree with Woude that the Boks will defend their World Cup title? No pressure. Listen, maybe your spare key is going to be changed if you don't give the right answer here to Siya Kolisi's house, but no pressure. That's the question.
No, I think like the Boks, obviously everyone's giving their best shot every time they're jolling for the Boks, and the coaching staff is like next level, like from what I've been involved with. And it's hard for me to speak because I'm involved, and it's hard for me to give an opinion because I'm involved. And yeah, but I think I'd love to see them defend it. I think obviously they have the potential to do it, and yeah, I think we have the players, we have the potential, we have the coaching staff, and that's my opinion, you know. But like my opinion can only go so far because I'm like I'd love to be more involved there. So like my opinion is very different to if I was from the outside, you know, because I've seen a little bit of it inside. So yeah, I don't think I'm the right person to ask that question. I think it's also a tough question.
You should be a politician. I tell you what, transition straight from here to politics. That is a great answer because you've said a lot. You've said a lot, but you didn't say anything. David Lurie says, Scarra, where did you get that shirt? Well, it's the shirt, and I think, is that what are you got going there? Is that your mask that's got like that vibe going?
Yeah. Like I think.
Where did you get that mask?
I think I got this.
Even you.
I got it from Loris. I don't know if you know Dane Pete, plays Proteas cricketer.
Oh, hey, no big deal. Just drop that in there. Yeah. I just
no.
The Laureate Sports Awards, SA Schools hooker, best friend.
No, Loris. No, I saw him wearing one, and I asked him because I wanted a washable mask because I had like a lot of. Yes, so that's how he got me the mask.
Dane Pete. So you went to Cares, eh? So I mean,
I went to Dell College before that, from grade 1 till grade 10. I did Cares grade 11 and matric.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. The red and white machine. The red and white machine. Right?
Red and black.
Listen.
Cares. Are you talking about Cares?
Yeah. Oh, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. You're in big, and those guys are in Hillbrow, so you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Scarra, I really appreciate you, brother. And before I let you go, I've got one more question. Scarra, what's the worst thing armchair coaches don't understand about the scrum? So, loudmouths, talking heads like me, what don't we really understand is happening in that cauldron? Great question.
Yeah, I think like the scrums now is something that's adapting quite a lot. It's not like something that you can. I mean, you can know your scrums, but in 5 years it's something totally different, and the rules are changing now. So I think sometimes you meet some people who played rugby or who knew rugby, and who are trying to give you advice about like something they experienced or something that they watch or whatever when they were at school or when they played, wherever they played. But like even in the professional area, like rugby, the scrums are changing so often and the rules are changing so often. So sometimes you have to listen to a lot of people talk about like scrums and stuff, but it's become so technical. And I think the refs have like such a tough job because the rules are so finicky and you have to interpret it like something can happen and the ref can make two decisions, but both are right just because of the way they interpreted the rules. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not just simple anymore. So I think it's quite a complex situation, and yeah, I think I wish there was easier way out of scrums because scrums is not my best friend. And I'm in the mix of it quite often. So, yeah, so I think, yeah.
Wow, that is tough. That is super tough. So, Woude, what you got for Scarra before we let him go? Dude, you have been amazing. You've given us so much time, and I know you're busy.
No worries. No worries. No, you guys are pretty cool.
No, Scarra, thank you so much for being on here, and thank you so much for being such a cool friend and an inspiration, and for all the hard work that you're doing on and off the field. I think people need to realize that it's not just the 80 minutes on the field is what it is, but it's all that hard work off the field that takes the toll.
Yeah, thanks, my friend. No, thank you too, like for the invite. Now, Dambu, thank you guys for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
This doesn't happen overnight as well, so big ups to you guys. Hard work.
Yeah, thank you very much. So some of the charity work, how can people get involved? How can they help? Maybe you can just give us a website people can go to and donate. Is there any way to do that? Maybe you can give us those details.
Yeah, I think both charities that I'm busy with, they both have Facebook pages and you can donate. The one is the Lungile Mchotwana Foundation, and the one is Be the Difference Foundation, and both of them are easily accessible. All the info is on Facebook, and so it's pretty easy. And yeah, I think if you have any problems, you can DM them. They're very they have people that are running those platforms, so it's pretty easy. And yeah,
all right.
Be the Difference is also on Instagram, so it's easy. You can DM them, and yeah, they're pretty easy to get a hold of.
Scarra Ntubeni, the most electrifying hair in sport today. Also awesome personality. Also best friends with Siya Kolisi. Also all-time cool guy. I mean, seriously, Scarra, you are so cool, bro. Because a lot of people, when they have the type of access to cool stuff that they have, is they can get a bit big-headed. They can, fans want to feel connected, and I think the Stormers are very lucky to have a figure like you, where people feel connected to you. The city feels connected to you. You're a part of the fabric of the society, and I think we see that happening less and less in all sports. So whatever it is you got going, brother, I admire it because you've done an incredible amount. You've done more than most of us will ever achieve in life. You've been an international sportsman, but you've stayed this cool guy. Whatever it is that you're doing, brother, keep doing it because it's awesome. It's awesome. I want to tell you, I'm a huge fan. I support everything you do, and I cannot wait to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I think Cape Town's also been kind to me, and they've always had me in their corner. So yeah, really enjoyed my trip, my time here, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to an end soon. But now, and thank you for those kind words, and thank you for having me on the show as well. I think, it's been good. And you guys allowed me to have a glass of wine on the show, which is pretty cool. Doesn't happen pretty often.
We're here for the people, by the fans, for the fans, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Scarra Ntubeni. Great job, Scarra. I'm very, very happy with that. What a great guy. That was awesome. Hey, Woude, you wouldn't think he's like a professional rugby player.
No.
That's so cool.
I mean, he's really one of the nicest guys that I know. And I can actually say that I know him. How cool. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, no big deal.
Yeah. I think I went up in like a few cool points for saying that I know him. So really nice.
Not in my books, but I mean, no big deal. You know, Springbok hooker. Yeah. He's what a great guy. What a great chat. And you can actually see he's a genuine guy. He's not doing this for PR. He's not trying to win cool points with anybody. And that's very rare. He used the word authentic there, which I love. And you don't get that often. So, hey, Scarra Ntubeni, when I get down there, we're going to be doing TikTok with Rachel. I'm going to get my TikTok moves. Him and I are going to hang out. I mean, I don't drink, so I'll have a Coca-Cola while he has his fine wine and he does his Pilates and aligns his chakras or whatever. But what a cool dude. And then also on top of that, one of the best athletes to ever live. The guy's SA schools, Springbok, Stormers. What a cool guy. What a cool life. Yeah, I like him. We got to get him back. Oh, that's it for today. I think you got anything else for me, Woude? Let's see if we got any social media before we run off. Got any questions for me, Dave? The voice of God, David Leroux. Let's see what we got. That was a great show, man. Thank you very much to everybody at home who has joined us. Giraffe Creative says, MKT, Liverpool manager B, are you drunk? As I just said, I don't drink. So let me tell you why I said B, is that he hasn't won enough league titles. Another similar comparison is a guy called Carlo Ancelotti. He's had his chances, but the best managers win league titles. He's won 2 league titles. That's not good enough. The best of the best might win the Champions League, but the best of the best of the best consistently win league titles. Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Sir Alex Ferguson. You got to win league titles, and Jurgen hasn't done that. Jackson M says, no Man United on the list. Listen, what do you want me to do? Since 2013, since Fergie left, right, they've been in the Champions League, what is it now? Once, rarely, with Mourinho coming second. I hate to tell you this. It's tough to admit. I'll tell you what it's like. When you break up with a girl, right, and then you see her with someone better, right? Better looking, he's rich, he has a nicer car than you. It's only then that you realize, oh my goodness, that's how far I fell off. No wonder she left me. Look at her. She looks great. That's what's happened to Man United. Is you had it good. You had the supermodel in Fergie for so long. You still see yourself as the guy who got in a relationship with the hot model at the beginning, not the guy who got fat and she dumped you. That's what happened to Man United. You got comfortable. You're not one of the big boys anymore. I certainly don't consider Man United a big club anymore. And it's not me, it's the results. This is going to be the 8th season in a row Man United have been nowhere near the title. No, it was close, nowhere near it. And I look at the squad now, next season, forget it. Hey, so Jackson M, I hate it. I hate to tell you that. Sorry to break it to you. Ntokozo Majosi saying, Monty is the best fullback here. There you have it, Woude.
Yeah, someone that agreed with me, and then someone who didn't.
Yeah, Sediment TV says, really, hands down, Andre, not even a contest. The Rolls Royce. There we go. The Rolls Royce. Okay. Sediment TV saying, Woude, we'll talk to you later about that. You're 100% wrong. So, Woude, what Sediment TV is saying is you couldn't be more wrong. There's no room for you to be more wrong.
Look, I did say that I'm going to get a lot of criticism and a lot of kickback on it, but I'm standing with my choice. Not going to change.
Hey, let me tell you a story about Andre Joubert. I was once in a nightclub when I used to be fun and have a personality, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's the Rolls Royce. So what did I do? I took my shoe off in the nightclub. I got a pen from one of the waiters. This is at 2 a.m, by the way. I took my shoe off. So I had a pair of Adidas sneakers, gave it to him, and I said, hey, guy, you're going to sign this. And he signed it. And I went off. And then I went off and did my TikTok moves. Did my TikTok moves on the dance floor. What do you think of my TikTok moves?
Absolutely no comment. Or actually, no, I have a comment. They're disgusting. You please go work on it. You're embarrassing me.
Hey, whatever. John Dobson told me I'm going to save rugby, so I don't need your hate. Let's go on to the next question. Ntokozo Majosi, question for you, Woude. Gelant might be the fullback for the British and Irish Lions tour in 2021. Ntokozo, interesting point. Woude, your thoughts?
Yeah, that is quite an interesting point. Yes, he is moving to the Stormers now. So I think I definitely think it's the best move for him, moving away from the Bulls, because I think under Jake White, he would have lost a lot of the natural way that he played. Being the starting fullback, sure, I'm not sure. I still back Damian Willemse for fullback. And I think Apelele Fassi is also coming through. For me personally, I'd rather have Gelant as a player off the bench. As a starting fullback, I'm not so sure yet about that. Yeah.
All right, Woude. Okay, so you're done. Okay, so you're all out on Warwick Gelant. We'll see how it works out for him. Woude saying no. All right, breaking news on this show, folks. Percy Montgomery is the greatest, apparently. The greatest fullback Springboks have ever had. Scarra Ntubeni is slowly but surely becoming a vegan. And if you didn't hear it yesterday, breaking news, no big deal. John Dobson, what a rugby legacy family, the Dobsons, he basically said, I'm going to save rugby with my great ideas. So that's been what's happened over the last 2 days. And it's been electric. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. That's it for today. We have had a great time. We are Scarra Ntubeni. I look forward to that. Remember, be a friend, tell a friend. A different ball game. We are here to change the landscape. Cliff Central, Africa's leading digital content hub, in collaboration with my guys at Big Shot Media. We will change sport. We will bring you more great interviews like we had today. Please support by going to Instagram and subscribing, going to Twitter and subscribing. And most importantly, I don't know which corner it'll be. I think it'll be down there or down there. Like, subscribe, share. Be a friend, tell a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, the one and only, the leading voice in sports science. We have a great guest tomorrow. I'm pretty sure you can figure out who that is. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It has been a pleasure. You could have been anywhere doing anything else with anybody else, but you were with us. And I hope for you, it was a different ball game.